Hey everyone, Mark and Joy back here on a Wednesday morning, and we are talking ice, we're talking cold, and we're talking indoors. That's not the weather. That's the NHL Stanley Cup.
Actually, what are you talking about? That is the weather.
Yeah, actually,
come on.
We haven't hit summer yet. It's
Where's
coming.
the
It's coming.
sunshine?
Yeah, it's tough to live in the Northeast or in Canada right now. But we're going to be back with another great game. Speaking about the Northeast in Boston, and again, you know, that Boston is my pick. I picked them to sweep the series. Joey, I know you look at it differently, and there's a lot of points you can make for St. Louis as well. Not less the fact that they, you know, all they need to do, and they've been better on the road than at home, is win tonight, go back with a split, and certainly with their record on the road, that's possible.
Well, and I just think any Stanley Cup Finals that's going to end in a sweep is a little ridiculous. and actually, to be honest,
somebody has to be bold.
Well, here's the reason why it angers me the most is that would be so depressing.
Yeah,
I think
that's
as
true.
a fan, that's the
true.
real reason why I wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, St. Louis, I think will get it done tonight. I mean, they had a bad game one and still popped in
bad,
2 goals,
sure.
had a 2-0 lead. Bennington played great, the goaltender for St. Louis. So I'm not too worried. They had enough things going their way that with a little bit more energy tonight, I think from just simply being more relaxed, they'll be able to have a better game and get this game too, and go home 1-1, which at the end of the day, when you're on the road, that's all you want. And game one's always so difficult for the road team, especially you're the road team. You're in your first Stanley Cup since 1970. Last Stanley Cup you played was the Bobby Orr when he had the iconic moment. And then that team that you are playing is Boston, who has maybe like the most experience in the NHL. So
well, what's left anyway?
Everything was kind of going against you, so that's fine. You had a 2-0 lead, you blew it. But you're back here game 2. You had a good goaltender. You scored 2 goals with Tuukka Rask, who's arguably the playoff MVP right now. You can get this game 2. I believe you will. And you go home 1-1 and regroup and just go from there. So tonight, I think they'll get it done. You score 3 goals, you win this game. And they got to have it. This Boston crowd is tough, man. You can't go down 2-0 because even if you sweep home, they still have a home ice advantage. So this is the only way to get home ice advantage back. And
momentum as well.
More importantly, momentum.
You know, that's the thing that Boston's going to be so tough. And the other thing we have to look at is if you started the playoffs, short of you picking St. Louis, you know, congratulations to you. You picked them all the way through, even though they weren't an original Cup.
No, it was Vegas, but I had St. Louis against Vegas, and St. Louis went all
and
the
so even though I had gone with San Jose as they went through, I must admit the call in that game probably took your Stanley Cup winner out, and they shouldn't have, which might have changed the whole playoffs. But we're down to experience. We're down to who's the highest rated team in the playoffs. It's Boston. They came out with a second seed. Every other seed's gone. They're the guys with that seed there. They got experience, even though they're not huge Stanley Cup winners either. We talk about Boston, how good they've been every year, but they've only had one Stanley Cup, the last 8 years or something. Yeah, 2011. So we're not talking about a team with huge experience, but they got more than St. Louis. They got good vibes behind them. They're the top seed going in. They've been playing remarkable in the playoffs. So I just don't see anything changing with Boston. I think they're going to do exactly what I said. I warned you all because it's going to be low money to bet them during the series, but if you bet them to sweep, you would have got good odds, and we'll be sitting here, and that's what I took for trying to get some good odds out of this series. You had to go for something remarkable like that, and a sweep was the only way to get that. So I think they continue it tonight. I think that St. Louis is going to be better. I don't doubt that at all. It'll be close again. It was 3-2 empty netter the other night. I think we're going to see that. I think Rask will be better. He hardly had any shots and let in 2 goals, so I expect for him to be better as well. The one thing I'm pretty sure you're going to get is a close game. That's the exciting part about it. Maybe overtime. So we'll look forward to the excitement of the game itself. Joey on the St. Louis side, myself on the Boston side. We want a long series just for the good of hockey.
Yeah, and I think St. Louis has proven that in all their series. So I think they're just they just come back. They haven't really hung on to. They've never lost 2 in a row.
Yeah.
That's a lie. They lost 2 in a row, but they won 2 in a row before they lost 2 in a row.
Right.
But you know they're in for long series. They've been through the ringer. Does that help or hurt? Because they're maybe more tired. I think it helps them. I think putting losses behind them is a lot easier when you've already been 6 and 7 games in every single series. So,
right, yeah.
We'll see. The one thing about St. Louis is they've had a breakout game just about every series, if not 2. St. Louis, all of a sudden, they had big games, 5-1, 5-1. Dallas, they did that to Dallas a couple times. They won a 4-1 game. So can they do it tonight? I'd love just a comfortable 4-1 game, 5-2
You're
game.
a dreamer. Love it.
We'll see. But St. Louis definitely, I don't think is worried going into tonight. I think Game 1 was expected, and even if you're a St. Louis fan, you should have expected that probably.
Okay, let's be clear on
And
that.
this is your chance.
To say they're not worried is wrong. They got confidence in themselves because of what they've done. They should be worried because if they lose tonight, this series is over anyway. But when they lose tonight, it's going to be the sweep as I predicted, and we'll see what happens. We'll be back tomorrow to recap and be back, of course, when the next game's happening tonight. Really good hockey game. We're looking forward to it. Overtime, I predict Boston win. Onto the sweep. So we'll leave it at that. We'll look forward to coming back tomorrow and recapping the results.